Welcome in, everybody. It's Laura, and we are going to break down all of the energies for all of the signs today. Let me know how you are feeling down below in the comments because these energies, they are pretty intense. We do have Venus and Aries in a conjunction to Chiron in Aries this Sunday. And so this is taking place actually in my local time in the house of Aries. It's happening in like the seventh house. And so Libra risings are definitely going to be feeling this energy. And I do feel there's a lot coming forward connected to sacred, divine, feminine rage, right? And so we just recently had Saturn ingress into Aries. It's still sitting at that 0 degrees. It is in a conjunction to Neptune sitting at 1 degree. Both of these planets are going to be going retrograde in July, and they're going to be holding hands together all the way through to next year. And so we've got a major opportunity to rewire our patterning, to reprogram our thought processes, and to really reevaluate what our dream is and how to ground it in, right? Because Saturn is asking for that structure and that discipline. And in the house of Aries, hello, Regine. It is discipline connected to self. Aries is the energy of self. It is the first sign. And so we have an opportunity right now this weekend to do some massive divine feminine healing to finally rewrite the book, right? We're going to close the book on the past. We've already kind of gone through this timeline shift, and now we're kind of shedding whatever layers are preventing us from fully going ahead. And so the Saturn energy is really asking us to restructure an area of our life. And I talked about that last week. And with the Venus energy in a conjunction to Chiron this weekend, this is deep inner feminine healing, right? And so the journey ultimately does come back down to self. It is the alchemy of our own inner masculine and feminine energies and getting to a place of neutrality and really enjoying the journey in our day-to-day life. A lot of us get so stuck up in our heads with overthinking or trying to analyze everything when we do need to drop into the energy of the heart and to feel our way through the next leg of the journey. And so I know I'm coming into all kinds of ideas and downloads connected to my entrepreneurial path, my business, residual income. I'm really excited to announce and share the launching of a new astrology program. It's going to be a masterclass that I'm working with another astrologer, Divine Feminine, to kind of implement. And it's going to really break down how to find the generational patterns within our cosmic ancestry and digging into like our mother's chart and how it connects to our energy, our grandmother's chart, our children's chart, our great grandmother, so we can pinpoint that pattern and we can finally break that generational pattern, which a lot of us feel cursed at times, right? And so we can finally transcend that and then step into our healing gifts, right? We all have a wound. We all have the ability to heal it. And then we can take that wound and we can turn it into a lot of tangible gold, right? And so your gifts are your power as we go into new earth energy, right? We all can manifest whatever reality we want, but we do have to do the inner emotional work. So because of all of this divine feminine sacred rage energy, I know there's anger being triggered. I see it all over social media. Scrolling this morning, there's all kinds of karmic closure, there's all kinds of endings, and there's all kind of women on Facebook I see getting angry at the lack of reciprocity, feeling rejected, feeling kind of pushed aside. And we all have been there, right? We've all had to deal with rejection or somebody kind of walking away, not giving us that closure, right? And so we got to work through the anger, right? Where did we allow that to happen? And we have to forgive ourselves ultimately. That really, I feel, is the path of embodiment, right? We don't forgive for that other person. We do that for ourselves. So I picked some interesting decks today. That's my introduction. I figured I'd give you all the time to get in the chat. I'm really excited to see you here, Regine. So I did pick the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. I am going to be posting a blog post this weekend. I had a huge download about the Divine Feminine and the energies we're here to embody, like when it comes to that Holy Trinity, right? So I figured the Divine Feminine Oracle deck will be like our advice card. Okay, so that'll be the last card that I pull. I did choose, let me grab it, it's behind me. I chose the Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck. And so it's kind of like an oracle deck. I did take out all of the chakra cards out of the deck, and so it's got all of the majors, it's got all of the minors except for the court cards. So I really wanted to keep the energies like heart-centered, I think. That's really where I'm feeling is this heart-centered energy. And then I did pull the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. And so I like Tori's work. I know a friend of mine gifted me the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, and I thought about using that one, but this one really held resonance for me today in these energies. So we will start off with the chakra card because I do feel right now we're kind of working through what I like to call the sludge, like the sludge energy of the clearing. And so we're kind of down to the nitty gritty right now. So we'll see where the blockages might lie within the chakra system. So we'll start off with Aries, like always, and we will end with Pisces. And it just makes it easy for me to go through the signs and remember that way without having to look at a cheat sheet. And we will get some messages. So remember, apply it to your sun, your moon, your rising sign. You can even apply this to your Venus energy, your Jupiter, your North Node, basically any area of your chart that you are drawn to apply this zodiac message to connected to that specific sign, right? If you know your chart inside out and backwards, apply it to all of your houses if you like to as well. But I think we're all working through those blocks. So let's jump right in to messages for Aries first. What do we got for Aries? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Facade. Oh, man. This is actually, I feel, so much bigger than just the Aries collective. This is what Saturn in Aries is illuminating, the illusion, the facade, the veil. I think we're seeing people at face value, people where at one point in time they were able to keep us in a distorted reality, an illusion of some sort, and we are being guided by our ancestors on the other side. And so there's some type of inner child wound here, Aries, that very well could keep you tied to an old pattern of a facade, right? Of a false sense of security within relationships or just in general, right? We see the tree, so there's some deep ancestral roots here connected to an illusion. It could be an illusion about how you look at yourself. It can mean a lot of things, but I think you're rising above the confusion and the illusion. And so it is connected to the solar plexus. There is, I feel, a block here where you don't know how to take back your power, right? This is where we can leak our power away, is through our solar plexus. It's kind of like our vitality. And so when we are around certain people and we feel drained afterwards, or we're tired, or we're triggered, or just the little things kind of irritate us, that's a clear indication you're dealing with somebody that is draining your energy. But in essence, if they're able to do that, you allowed your energy to be leaked. So really try to contain that energy, Aries, okay? So work on that solar plexus chakra over the course of the weekend with this Venus energy, because I do think an opportunity to heal where you've given your power away. Okay, what is, oh, geez, Louise. It went flying, but I think I can reach it. And I love the card that came out. So give me a minute. Let me get it out from under the desk. And it is the card of Healing Begins. So 6 of Swords, right? So heart healing. There is an integration, I feel, from the root to the heart. So really ground in your heart-centered truth, because look at that, the curtain. You see the curtain. So like Spirit's like, hey, they're on it, and they're saying that curtain, you can't unsee what it is that you have seen. Okay. And so listen to your heart. Your heart is that gateway receptor. Okay. So your heart knows the way, but you also have to have a little bit of logic there, right? Because it is a swords card, which is logic. You know, in your heart of hearts, you need to walk away from something, I feel, where you can't unsee it. Whether it's a job, a relationship, a lifestyle that you've been living, it could be a lot of things, right? For a lot of people. But 6 is the journey to peace, is the journey to balance, is the journey to harmony. I think you've spent a lot of time up in your head, probably self-sabotaging your own journey, where maybe you have deceived yourself, and it's time to move on from these self-sabotaging patterns as well. Okay, so let's get you a divine feminine oracle card and see what kind of divine feminine energy you're going to be working through. Oh, I like that Isis is on the bottom of the deck. Isn't that like the ultimate goddess of magic? And so your energy is sacred. I do want to say that to you, okay, Aries? So what is the divine feminine oracle card for Aries, please, today? I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but I'll put it up on the screen for you, Aries. I'm not even going to attempt that. I know I can't even say it, but the goddess that represents the essence of all Buddhas. And so you're gaining a certain knowledge from this facade being exposed, is what I want to say, right? And so you do have the power to make every single moment sacred. That really was a huge download for me, is to really honor the sacredness of our human existence as spiritual beings, is to enjoy the mundane, the day-to-day life, right? We get so many distractions all around us that it takes us away from really being present in the moment. 1212, I knew you were here, Nella. How are you? And so everything in your material world is for your liberation. Okay, it's okay to want for things materially, right? It is okay, but be in that present moment with everything that you've manifested materially in your life. And materially can mean a lot of things, right? It isn't just about stuff. It is about the physical world, right? And so being present in that physical reality is your liberation on this journey. And I've been feeling that so strong lately. So my chair is like so uncomfortable. Let me get a little bit closer. Let me get closer to you guys. Okay. Taurus, what do we have for Taurus? Look at that one, want to jump out right away. Oh, impartiality. Kind of has a Libra feel to it. So interesting. She's holding two paint cans. Let me tell you, paint cans are freaking heavy because I've been doing a lot of renovations, and I renovated and painted my upstairs bathroom earlier this week. And paint cans are heavy. And so there's something here that you've been carrying, I want to say, that is heavy, Taurus. And you are protected. You are carrying something here that is not yours to carry. Let it go. Let it go. There's a lot of energy swirling around you. I do see this medallion or this crystal around her neck sitting at her throat, but it's connected to the higher chakras. So where is there a throat chakra block, I feel, that you need to work through in order to release something heavy that you've been carrying that I don't think is yours to carry? And so this really is blocking, what I want to say, is your crown chakra. So there's a block between the crown and the throat, maybe all three, but I do think you're receiving downloads, you're receiving upgrades and messages, and you need to find that balance. You need to actually protect your energy this weekend, okay? What is the tarot card for Taurus? Open up. So, Four of Pentacles. I believe that's the Four of Pentacles, or is it the Four of Wands? I can never remember one of these decks. Both of the colors are very close, but I'm gonna say this is the Four of Pentacles with the red, because I think of earth energy. I think of the root chakra, right? The material world. Open up to receiving. I do think there's a block here, and the block is connected to something you've been carrying for somebody else, and maybe it's the weight of the ancestry karma that you've been clearing. So open up to be able to receive. So if you're in that Four of Pentacles energy and you're holding on to something that isn't yours, you can't open up the doorway to receive what actually is yours. So what is the divine feminine message for Taurus? Look at that. She come right out right away. And there she is, probably my favorite feminine archetype, Lilith. Lilith and I have a pretty deep soul connection. I do remember tapping into the energy of Lilith several times throughout my journey. She was very prominent at the beginning of my awakening, working through that shadowy feminine energy. She was the first woman. Okay, and that's my belief spiritually, that really is, and that's not to take away from the energy of Eve, because there's a whole other perspective of her, and that's another part of the shadow feminine we do need to work through, along with Mary Magdalene, and that's what my post is going to be about on the weekend, so watch for that blog post. But Lilith is the voice of the body and the soul. She chose the desire to live fully without constraints. And that is why she was cast out of the garden, because she wanted to be free. And who doesn't want to be free, right? And so Lilith is the embodiment of sovereignty, is how I see that, right? Yeah. Lilith is in your first house. That is powerful. I believe currently Lilith is just about to move into my 9th house. She's been sitting in my 8th house. And so I'm liking it there. Yeah. So Lilith is pretty powerful. So connect with that Lilith energy, Taurus, especially if you have Lilith in your first house. Really bring that energy, Regine, down into that seventh house of Taurus too. Work with the alchemy of those two archetypes over the course of the weekend, because after Chiron's trek through Aries, not this year, but next year, I believe next year, it's going to be moving into the Taurus zodiac. And so we're going to have a whole other energy to be working with Lilith and all of that good stuff, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to move on to Gemini next. I got a little sidetracked there. The messages are feeling pretty deep today, to be honest. So look at that, and the cards are just flying out. So Gemini, joy. Oh, you have the right to be happy. You deserve to be happy. Nobody gets to take that joy away from you. And so you have to harness this in, right? And so there is a block on the solar. Once again, like, where have you been allowing joy to not be present in your day-to-day life? Are you dealing with a Debbie Downer? That's possible. And hey, we all have good days, we all have bad days. But Gemini, it's really time to shine the light and be the light. You are here to shine that light on the illusion so people can see clearly too, right? Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury. You are one of God's messengers. So where do you need to start sharing your message? Where do you need to start shining that light to bring that little piece of joy into people's lives, right? And so if we can just help one person get through their day, then I think we've done a pretty good job at serving our mission, right? The divine feminine shines the light. She radiates that joy. So where are you lacking joy in your life? And what do you need to release in order to call back that energy of joy, Gemini? Okay. All right. Tarot message, feeling alone. See, that is definitely the Five of Pentacles, definitely. And so you are here to shine that light. She's carrying the lantern, which to me is the energy of the hermit. And so there's going to be challenges that you're going to have to face, right? She's looking at these challenges head on. That full moon in Sagittarius, Gemini, is going to be opposite your placements that are in Gemini. And there is going to be a need to see something clearly because full moons illuminate something. And so really sit with that energy. What core wound is being activated? Because that's your gift. That's the light that you can shine when you balance out that energy. But you've got to cross some type of emotional path here, and you've got some challenges ahead. But once again, you're going to have to see this because something here is keeping you in a state of lack. And it's really preventing you from fully stepping into joy. And you know what that is. I don't need to tell you. I'm just here to kind of shine the light on that as well. So the hermit too holds wisdom. The hermit here is a spiritual teacher, oftentimes a spiritual guru. So take the lesson, shine the light, and be that guide for others, I think is a message for you, Gemini, okay? All right, Divine Feminine Oracle. Oh, you got two. I'm on the fence here, Gemini. Of course you get two because you're the sign of duality, so we're going to take them both. We're going to look at the one that's upright. Maybe we'll look at this as the light, and she's got that light all around her, that fiery energy. I feel like you are here. Oh, you are here to, oh my goodness, to hold that flame. She's holding that flame. So I don't know if like you keep dropping it or fumbling something, because that was interesting. Or maybe you don't know if you've got what it takes. And let me tell you, the shadow manifestation of Gemini is I'm going to forever be the student. And I'm never going to step into that teaching role because you're always striving to learn more. And I'm in that. I'm a Venus in Gemini. I love learning more. But if you don't start with what you got, then you're never going to get started. And so she is the queen of the saintly women. Rabia, I'm going to say it, Rabia. And so I am in service of divine love. So this is the light manifestation coming through this weekend. You have to move the way that love is asking you to move. Okay, and so let's see the downside. Look at it. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Life, and she is holding the lantern. It's time to step into that embodiment of this higher consciousness that you have activated, that you have received. You are here to give to the world, and when you shine that light, you have the ability to give abundantly, right? Without end, because as you show the way, you do receive, right? There's a lot that comes in giving and the opposite of receiving. And so your soul knows the way. So it's really time to lead the path for others is what I feel is a message for Gemini today. All right, Cancer. And I just felt like an energy go whoosh at that ear chakra. So I do think there's like a vortex of energy surrounding either Cancer or Gemini or both. But that's interesting because it was going to Cancer and it was like whoosh, very interesting. So perception. Cancer, you get perception, and so the heart energy. And so, where do you need to look at a situation from a higher perspective? I think that it looks like a doorway behind her, but it's open just a crack. It's open just a sliver. And I'm going to say that looks like emerald to me. Emerald is such a beautiful heart stone. We see the dove. We see, I'm going to say it looks like a monarch butterfly. We see the tree. We see the rose bush behind. And so there's a lot of emotional growth, I want to say, that you have been going through. But there's a door here that hasn't fully closed. So it's like you're heart centered, you're on that path, you're following that jewel, but the door behind hasn't fully closed. And so there is still a little bit of heart healing here, I want to say, going on for you, Cancer. And that's okay, because I think you're on the second layer of this transformation because there's two butterflies. And I always felt like I had two ascensions on my journey. The first part of the ascension was the awakening and the lifting of the veil. The second part of the ascension was grounding it all in, and then grounding in compassion, right? And I think we go through many layers of transformation, but you're going towards the light. Okay. Damn it. I think it's a beautiful message, right? There's growth there, but there's still a little bit of the cycle that's incomplete. So what's the tarot message? I was going to say for Nella, for Cancer. What's the tarot message for Cancer? Well-deserved reward. So yeah, it's been a challenge. I don't know if you've gone through 3 major hurdles, maybe over the last 9 months. This is the 9 of Pentacles. You're going to come out on top. You've put in the hard work, right? And now it's time to share all of that growth, all of that love, all of that light with the world. And it's been well-deserved, right? You've put in the work, because before the 9 is the 8. And so trust that whatever's going on, you are going to come out on top. All right, divine feminine message for Cancer. Mashig Lab Drone, I'm going to say it like that. The diamond-hearted Dakini. Can't even make that crap up, right? And so definitely like the diamond or the emerald-hearted Dakini, you see the light in your own darkness, right? So when you face your old ego beliefs and you shed them, then you are free, right? Then you're free. And so it's time to be free. It's time to be independent. This is my card of independence, right? You've cleared your codependencies, and so you're free. You're free. That's what that feels like to me. Okay, and you are very welcome, Nella. Okay. What comes after Cancer? Leo. Leo. Is it Leo? I hope it's Leo. I think it's Leo. Dissipating. There's a cycle coming to an end. I want to say there is a cycle closing out. I don't know if you're kind of in the energy of just taking it easy. Maybe you're just chilling. Maybe you're binge watching Netflix. I don't know. But something here is coming to an end. It's dissipating, right? Not quite at the end. I think you are also in detective mode. What was that show as a kid? Inspector Gadget is what I feel on that card, Inspector Gadget. Spirit is kind of communicating with you too. And I think you're just kind of in this very interesting energy of like a void is kind of what that feels like for me, Leo. So let's go further with the tarot. I do notice, like, I don't know if you're spending a lot of time at home. It just feels like you're spending a lot of time at home. We got the pictures on the wall. So I don't know if you're going to be like an empty nester or something like that. But let's see what the tarot is. Oh, I was going to say, or not. And then the Magician came through. So you are in manifesting mode. I think you're just taking it all in, is what that feels like, right? The Magician. The Magician has all of the tools to manifest anything they want. It kind of looks like he's opening up a chest. So like the hope chest. Oh, that's so interesting. The hope chest, right, of our ancestry. That's what this new program is all about that I'm building with Dear Audrey on Instagram. So go check out Dear Audrey. Wonderful woman, very intelligent with her astrology knowledge. And so when we open up that treasure chest of our ancestry, we have all of the tools, right? Because our ancestors didn't just leave us wounds, they left us gifts. So I don't know too, like, I don't know if there was like a grandmother, maybe possibly in a nursing home that's crossed over. That might be just for one person, but there is almost that energy too of maybe somebody is living in a nursing home. It doesn't have to be you. I don't think it's you, but there's something shifting. There's something rising within you connected to building your own world. And so maybe as the old life dissipates and fades away, this new energy is coming in. So that is Gemini energy, Leo. So look to Gemini in your chart. If you are a Leo rising, you would probably be an 11th house Gemini. So something shifting within your social group. That is also like our role within the community. So maybe your community efforts are shifting. Maybe you're doing acts of service or volunteer work. But the divine feminine card for you, Leo, is the Lady of Lotus born. You are birthing something for sure. So I do think like there's something closing out and you haven't fully stepped into the embodiment of that new manifestation or that new energy, that new timeline. And so your body was made for enlightenment. And as we go through enlightenment, we also do have to experience and darkenment. And so I think you're coming out of the void, but you're not quite there yet. So give yourself some time. Okay, Leo. We will also have, I want to note, the moon in Leo this weekend during the Venus Chiron conjunction. So take note of that if you are a Leo moon. All right, Virgo is up next. I do know that. What do we got for Virgo? Is it Virgo? Yeah, it's got to be Virgo. Geez, I'm feeling a little off today. Virgo. Abundance. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm a Virgo moon. Abundance. Let's look at that. Look at that card. Just take a look at it. We see the one guy here kind of on the ground. Looks like on the sidewalk. There's a grate below him. Maybe he's at home. It looks like maybe he had a couple of drinks and now he's losing his hat. Maybe he's losing his shirt. And on the other side, we see a girl with a house behind her. It looks like a young girl. It could be a woman. And I don't know if like she's dangling something above the grate. Very interesting depiction. And then we get this beautiful golden chest. And so there's always two sides to the coins, right? So abundance, there could be a block in receiving abundance, okay? Virgo, where do you need to be open up to receiving? You are the sign of service. And I know Virgos can give a lot of their time, a lot of their energy to service and not even know how to receive that back, right? That's my love language is acts of service. And so you might be selling your house. I just noticed, I didn't wear my glasses, but I just noticed, and it's really hard to see, there is a for sale sign in front of that house. So maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're making a wish about being able to move. So be willing to receive it. Where is there a limiting belief that is preventing you from walking that path or manifesting that abundance? So like, where are you still needing to work through a sense of lack? So what is the tarot message coming through for Virgo Blossom? So it is the energy of the Judgment card, but I always, whenever this card comes out, the first thing that I feel energetically wise is Empress, right? It's like some people come and shine the light and they're very gentle with their light. And some people come and they come in like that fireball. And I always say I'm like that fireball of light. But there is something very beautiful around you energy wise. And I do think there's a limiting belief here that you need to let go of when it comes to telling yourself you don't have enough or I don't have it. I can't do that, because you can. So get ready to shift that limiting belief. This is like an awakening to what it is that you need to shift to call in that power too. And I feel that solar plexus energy. So there's a block too there of you giving your power away, I think, to a limiting belief. So what is the divine feminine message for Virgo? Amaterasu? Sure, we'll say it like that. The goddess of light. And then there's that whoosh, there's that light. And so we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. Man, that's pretty deep when I think about that, because that was also a download that I came into as divine feminines, especially when we come into that authentic resonance, right? And authenticity is an insight, it's an energy, right? we are that light for other people. So we shine that light on these unhealed wounds. We are the trigger for a lot of people on the awakening path too. We are also the light to bring them out of their own shadow, out of that darkness, right? Because we all have the ability to ground in this sacredness, right? We are all sacred, whether we remember that or not. And so you are here to really shine that light. And yeah, people I feel might just oscillate around you and maybe nobody ever really stays, but maybe that abundance is for yours to receive. I don't know, something like that. Like maybe you have this big heart where you want to share everything with everybody, but maybe it's yours to receive. Okay, so think about that. Are you receiving to be able to give it away, or are you receiving because you actually feel you're worthy of receiving something? I think that's a message there too. So we're all those mirrors, right? Yes, we are. Okay. Libra. Let's move on to Libra. I had to think about that. All right. Libra, Libra, Libra. Oh, bittersweet. Okay, I don't know if you just had a birthday. We see the birthday cake, the candles. I don't know if you made a wish for somebody to come back on your birthday. We do see the dove. At first glance, I thought that was a cat. It's not a cat. It's definitely not a cat. Throat chakra. There's a throat chakra block here. Maybe it's okay to make that wish, but we can't wish for specific people. We can set the wish like, I wish this person would come forward, or something better. Right? The universe isn't going to bring you anything that isn't aligned with your energy or your path. And sometimes it's bittersweet to accept that. It's taken me years to get to that place of acceptance and surrender on the path. Some things just are kept away from you, no matter how much you want them and you wish for them. But you will also, well, we're not quite there at Libra season. But really think about what it is that you're wishing for, Libra, is because once we get that, is it really what we want? But I also feel like this sense of like a Four of Cups. So there is a sense of boredom or distraction here. So there's something here very bittersweet, and maybe it's a conversation that you need to have, and maybe you've withheld this conversation out of fear of somebody else's reaction. Maybe you're afraid of rejection. But let's go into the tarot and see what this is about. Rest and recover. Nine of Wands. It's about a core wound. So this imagery always reminds me, and I know not everybody's a Disney fan like I am, but this reminds me of Frozen 2 when Anna was in the cave with Olaf, and Olaf melted away because Elsa got frozen when she found out the truth at the bottom of, I forget that place is called now. But if you watch the movie, you know. And so sometimes we do have to walk that path of solitude, right? But I do feel you've learned a lot. It's like you got that little backpack energy. It's like you're ready to become the fool. And so when we take that wisdom from our wounds and we step into that wounded warrior and that wounded healer, then maybe we can reconsider, is that really what I want, right? Because once you heal from something, is it really a good manifestation of calling that back into you if you've already had to heal from it once? I think everything depends on certain situations. But I do feel you've learned a lot of knowledge here from walking a very solitary path, and something does feel actually very bittersweet. So maybe you will get what it is that you've wished for, and maybe you'll realize you don't want it. I don't know. But let's see what the Divine Feminine message is. We got two, and they come out upright. So we are going to take them, Libra. You are the Divine Feminine of balance, right? And so you are your own guru. Heck yeah. Joy permeated mother. And I'm not going to pronounce it at all whatsoever. I do not know how. I'm not going to pretend I do. But you need to know that your true self will never change. So really step into that authenticity, right? Rest and reconsider. Inyana. I like Inyana. She is the queen of heaven and earth. And so you do hold the keys to ground in your own personal heaven on earth. The divine feminine really should never have anything to hide. It's time to see and accept all that you are, right? So really look in that mirror and see and accept all that you are. Okay. Libra, is it Scorpio next? I think it is. I think it is. All right, Scorpio. Despondence. This is probably my least favorite card in the deck. I never like this card. I never like the way it feels in my hands. I just don't like this card, Scorpio. I don't like this card. We see all of these vines around you. We see this energy very frazzled, right? Just feels like so scattered, so displaced. We get this very angry, very heavy energy of a feminine woman down here. And then we get the world right at like the solar and the womb chakra. And so there is a cycle here coming to completion. But all of the vines, I just feel there's like an entanglement of some sort. The hair also reminds me a little bit of like the archetype of Medusa. And so there is a third eye block here, and there's something probably clearing around the next full moon in Sagittarius. So as a Scorpio rising, would you be a Sagittarius 12th house? I think you would. Well, I guess if it went with all of the houses. So I do feel there's like a hidden enemy here. The 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. I think there's going to be exposure of a hidden enemy that is really blocking you from your path or trying to send you like a psychic attack or some kind of energy to keep you confused. So that's why I just don't like this card. It never really brings forward like a very clear, crisp message. It just feels yucky. So let's get a tarot card. Change your focus. Yeah, there's a need to look straight ahead. There is somebody here, I feel, that could be serving as a block on your path. So really reevaluate that right now. Really stay focused, really stay driven. With it green, it is a heart energy. So it's almost like somebody is trying to drag you back down into an old version of self. Oh, Sag is the second and the third house. Okay. I knew they were close together, but I couldn't quite picture it in my mind's eye. So I do think it's time to walk the straight path. I do think there is something here that might feel very emotionally challenging because it's a 5 of Cups. When this exposure comes through of maybe somebody that is working against you, it might be hard to actually accept that. But I do feel you are being guided to rise above. We see 3 doves ahead and 1 behind. And so this lesson isn't quite yet behind you, but it's almost there is how that feels. I was going to totally skip the feminine card. So what is the divine feminine message for Sagittarius today? Another one I can't even pronounce. Zhuanjing, maybe? The mystic of peace. You are called to be peaceful. This actually feels very peaceful, right? It's like you got, I'm not gonna say all your ducks in a row, but you got all your trees in a row. And so it's like Spirit knows the work you've done, but there are still, I want to say there's seeds to plant here. You've got seeds to plant here. And so when your mind is clear, the way is clear. So there's somebody here I feel that does try to get into your head, or maybe it's your own shadow self, but I do feel clear the mind, really go into the heart, and that truth will be shown to you around that full moon. Okay. Capricorn is up next. What do we got for my Capricorn collective? Complacency. Capricorn complacency. Stuck. And I don't know if it's fear. I don't know what is keeping you stuck, Capricorn. I don't know if you had a long winter that you've worked through, but it's like there's this very heavy energy all around the Capricorn collective with this card. And I don't know if you've been in some type of process of dark night of the soul since the fall, or maybe there is grief over what is leaving your life, what is falling away. But there is a very stuck energy. So where are you being complacent? Ask yourself that. Where are you being complacent, connected to maybe a false sense of security, or no, it feels something very physical that is keeping you held back. So let's see what this is all about. Sadness and isolation. It did flip out in reverse. I'm not reading anything in reverse today, but there are 2 sides to this card too. And so we see in the darkness, we have, it's actually a man, I feel it looks like a man on the card that is in the fetal position, in some type of birthing energy. The three, this is actually the Three of Swords. So sadness and isolation definitely feels like a similar energy here. Like it just feels heavy. But then on the flip side, through this Three of Swords, or the shedding of something that is dying away, is this process of enlightenment, right? So you're on this healing path, and I do think the complacency is almost over, or like the cocoon stage is almost over, and you're going to come out this other side very enlightened. But I do think there's fear of letting go this last layer. And so there is like a need to really work with your inner masculine energy, is what this is feeling like, to find your drive to step back into the light. So what is the Divine Feminine Oracle message for Cappies today? Yamoja, the goddess of all that flows. And so it's time to get back in the flow. It's time to get back into that ocean of creative energy. You are about to give birth to something, and it exists within you already. So the darkest of our days really is the brightest of our gifts that we can deliver to the world. So it kind of feels like a mermaid vibe. So I don't know if you have a past timeline connection to Atlantis. Go and spend some time near the water. That's always very cleansing for me. So the mermaid energy too, like she's got a song that draws people in. It's time to share your soul song, to share your gifts, to share your enlightenment journey. So where are you holding yourself back from stepping into that embodiment of your mission? That's, I feel, where the complacency is. Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius is up next, and so we do have Pluto retrograde in Aquarius right now. For those of you that are 12th house Aquarius, it's probably sitting in your 12th house. Man, the shadow work for me lately with patterns and all kinds of old people showing up in my life, testing me. Man, I've been tested. This retrograde, I do feel, is to close out a big chapter with Aquarian energy. And so enlightenment, I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's like a Buddha, a guru on the card. And I feel this inner child restoration. Feels like your inner child is finally free to come out and play. That's what this feels like. And so I do think you're receiving a lot of downloads, I want to call it, a lot of messages from your higher self, your spirit team, your guides, the archangels. And I do think there's a lot of it just feels like a lot of incoming upgrades and Akashic keys, Akashic codes. That's really what this is feeling like. I do feel you are being called to step into that enlightened presence in other people's lives and to share the journey, right? To share a message as well. Definitely Aquarius, you're ruled by Uranus. You are here to bring all of these massive innovative changes forward for doing things differently, right? Doing things with a little bit of a spiritual twist. So what is this enlightenment all about for Aquarius? I really like it. I feel like you've got a lot of divine protection around you at this point in time. Wow, the death card, the release, but I love the card on, like, look at the imagery. This is you shedding. You are in a major process of shedding anything that stops you from fully embodying authenticity. So it's like you're taking off all of the armor, you're taking off all of the masks, and you are rebirthing into your most authentic, highest timeline, highest frequency. It just feels light body activation for sure, healing the light body and rebuilding a foundation. That's really what this feels like for Aquarius out there. So Aquarius, we're going to take it. I'm just going to take the one. We're just going to take the one. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. Man, doesn't that just feel really abundant though? That enlightenment card, it does feel like ultimate abundance. So maybe Lilith and Scorpio is really pushing this shedding, right? Because that's Scorpio energy. And so you do have to choose to feel abundant, because wealth is an inside job, right? And this is abundance. And abundance isn't just about money, right? It really is about wealth in all areas of our life. So I think you're about to bloom something very abundant, unlimited abundance. You're shedding those limiting beliefs as well, Aquarius, is what that feels like for you today. Okay. Pisces. Oh, Pisces, last but not least. I always love doing Pisces last. Never used to really like Pisces energy too much until I found out I was a Pisces rising and integrated that shadow Piscean energy within myself. But look at what we got for you, Pisces. We get forgiveness, and I love it. And so, forgiving yourself, forgiving the past. I just feel like you're held. You've got all of this strength out of all of this wisdom. I do think maybe you are also showing others how to step into that embodiment of forgiveness. The hippopotamus, they're actually, is it like a hippopotamus, but it's got two horns? They're actually, they can be pretty ferocious animals from what I've seen. But oh, look, and I never noticed that too. There's a couple of faces in the bushes. I think it's time for you to forgive your enemies. That's what that feels like. I feel like you've got people that maybe have wronged you, watching you on the rise, watching you forgive, watching you flourish. And maybe you've got somebody, maybe you've got like, I see three faces in there. Maybe you got three people here wanting to come in and ask for forgiveness from you too. That's also a message. There could be a couple of people here that are seeking that forgiveness from you. So what is this forgiveness card all about? Oh, the Chariot. Some type of union. It doesn't have to be, but we see two people here, and they're like, it feels like a commitment vow. I don't want to say wedding vows, but it feels like that's the imagery of me, maybe of people exchanging love for one another is what that feels like. That's really what that feels like. And I guess my beliefs about the institution of marriage have definitely changed on this journey. But this feels like a commitment. It really does. And it could be with a Cancer. It could be by Cancer season. And so what you are looking for, what you are seeking for is also seeking you, is what that feels like, Pisces. But you too have some cleaning up here to do. I think there's a few people here that need to, I don't want to say settle the score, but I think they need to ask you for forgiveness before this movement forward can take place. And so maybe that's what this Saturn retrograde energy is all about. Maybe that's what this Venus conjunct Chiron energy is all about. Maybe you got somebody coming in and asking for forgiveness because you're stepping into your worth and your value. So let's see what the divine feminine energy is surrounding Pisces. Mary of Nazareth. I can't even make this up. Mary, the mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. And so ultimate divine feminine energy, right? You're birthing a brand new cycle is what this feels like, a brand new path. I just feel like this is like graduation day for you. Maybe you are grounding in your energy of being an earth angel. But I think you are definitely in service of God and a higher power. And maybe you are also here to teach forgiveness. Can you imagine being Mary of Nazareth and having to forgive, watching her son being crucified, right? And so think about that. And so Pisces is, I always think of like the little Jesus fish when I think of Pisces. It is so connected to that Jesus consciousness. And so there's something very self-sacrificing about your energy, where maybe offering this forgiveness is the key to setting free some type of cycle that has been holding you back. But I do think you're seeing things clearly. So if you've manifested some type of union or soulmate, I think it's coming by Cancer season. And that's what I got for all of the Zodiacs today. So that was really fun for me. That felt really good. I really enjoy doing the lives. Yeah, lots of insights, definitely. I can't wait to go and watch this. So yeah, keep an eye out this weekend for that Divine Feminine blog post. I've been working on it on and off all week. I've been working on a lot of things, and I'm really excited to share that moving forward. Like, so many ideas. I really want to start expanding the membership. Hopefully time will be good to me, and I'll get a lot of work done this weekend. I'm excited for the next little bit because I do think this is us really on the rise. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you do well this weekend with all of the Venus Chiron energy, this healing portal, and I will see you next Thursday, okay? Thanks for showing up, everybody.